Alright, so it seems that our next destination for the story is going after Anne at the Great Chasm there, which was used by Aerie in the first game to bring her master Ouroboros. But before that, we have the final side quest of the game here, which has to do with Alternus, actually, as during that last set of cutscenes there, as Idia was talking to Alternus there and saying like, oh, I'm glad your arm is doing better, and he was like, oh, my arm? Yeah, it's fine. And as Idia was talking about Yoko there, since Alternus said that he was going to go after Yoko, Alternus seemed to have no idea what Idia was talking about. So, let's see here.
The keystones are all in place. And yes, the door's unlocked.
Ooh, what does that mean?
My guess is someone must be inside.
Let's have a look around. Be sure to wrap up warm, Magnolia. It's freezing inside. Ooh. I don't know how this castle manages to be colder on the inside than the out.
You've been here before, Idia?
Yeah, with Agnes and Tiz. Look, what's that? This helm. Alternus!
Stay strong, Idia. I'm sure he's all right. Let's go look for him.
Alright, time for the final side quest of the game. Unlike basically every other side quest, this one is actually story important. Like, it honestly makes me wonder why this is a side quest and not part of the main story.
Look, this painting.
Yoko?
Remember what Alternus said? He was going after Yoko. Why, if it isn't our loyal Minister of the Right?
What? Yoko?
Yoko! If you laid a hand on Alternus, I'll...
Idia, don't do anything rash.
Wise advice. We think you would do well to listen. Your knight in not-so-shining armor is fine. At least he seemed healthy, running away as fast as his legs could carry him. But enough talk about him. We are much more interested in you. Perhaps you are aware that Vampire Castle is known by another name. The Hall of Truth, where the curious can learn all there is to know. Yet some truths are not so easily faced. What of you? Would you cast off your blissful ignorance and face the truth? Then make for the floors above, but be forewarned. Before you can learn the truth, you must prove yourself worthy of it. Tiz, do not think you can avoid the dangers that you would encounter in this place. Within these walls, the powers of Luxendark's gods will not avail you. This is our realm. We make the rules, and you have no choice but to play by them. It is only fair, yes? A truth learned through anything other than your own efforts is no truth at all. We shall await you above. Fare thee well.
The truth? What is she talking about?
Tiz, we don't have to do anything she says. But what about Alternus?
At last it's working.
Alternus! Thank heavens you're safe.
Yes, it was a close call, but I made it.
You should have known it was too much to handle by yourself. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Well, you...
Oh, you blockhead!
Well, at least we know Alternus is safe. What should we do now?
Well, I don't trust that girl at all. This could very well be a trap.
That is a possibility, yes. But what if she's telling the truth?
So that scene from before, does that mean that the encounter rate is on? Yeah, the encounter rate is on, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like that. Can I run, though? Is that a thing that I can do? I mean, we can also just, you know, do this kind of thing. It just, you know, burn through every battle, hopefully. Is what we can do. Whoops. Sure. And then we can do that. Can I do it again? Well, let me do it twice to go to -4. That should be more than enough to take out all the enemies, right? I hope. Assuming we go first here each time. Yeah, we should be fine as long as we put on repeat. Like, as long as we put on the auto battle here, we should be a-okay. Hopefully. I wonder if I should turn up the emulator speed while we explore around. Probably won't, because I know that there's going to be a lot of cutscenes in this area, and doing that might mess with them. Oh, there's a staircase over there. Yeah, let's just do that. How about? That's what we do. Okay, he can't actually do that twice. Okay, I'll turn off the repeat then and set it to something else, like a normal attack for his other one. Falcon Claw once and then a normal attack for his other one. So we can just go up this way, it seems. It would seem. Get the chest here. I don't know what that is. I mean, I could check its stats, potentially equip it, but I mean... Alright, let's see here. Wait, what are the other ones? Performs actions in reverse order of speed. HP recovery for all allies and enemies at the end of the turn. And switch physical defense and magic defense for all enemies and allies. Interesting. Interesting there, huh? Steal items from all enemies, huh? Spicy. But I don't know if it does damage, so I won't bother. Alright, let's go ahead and do this, and then we can do, like, I don't know. Sure. Something like that is what we can do. Like, as long as we set it to auto, like this. I did set it to the... Yeah, that's the right thing there. As long as I set it to auto like that, we should be okay in this area. Most likely. As long as I don't accidentally repeat any battles. That would suck. It's been a little while since we've had encounter rate on. I'm used to having it off now.
We were wondering how long you meant to keep us waiting. But no matter, we shall keep our promise. This is the first truth. The tale of the ambitious man. How long did we lay in slumber, that first time that we slept? We awakened and opened our eyes to the sight of a man standing before us. This man, this ambitious man, had come to explore the shrine in which we slept. 20 years ago, another man, another ambitious man, came for us. He brought with him a young girl, and within her body encased our very soul. With this, his true goal would be realized. The man had come to plunder the shrine, to claim the treasures that had been offered to us over the ages. His expedition a success, The man assembled his fleet and set sail for Gathlatio, blissfully ignorant of the truth that within the girl's chest slept the seed of a deadly plague. Fever struck her only days into the journey. With haste, the fleet made for the nearest port. The man wanted to continue, but the girl's grandfather, the owner of the fleet, forbade it. Fearing that the girl carried a deadly disease, he appealed to the church, demanding that the girl be quarantined. The ambitious man wished to take the girl and his treasures home. He petitioned the church for permission to set sail. The leaders of the church, unable to reach a consensus, sent for an exorcist. This exorcist, a man by the name of Geist, would free the girl of whatever evil possessed her. Those who sought to keep the girl in town thought they could use the ritual as a pretense to delay the fleet's departure. The other camp believed that once the ritual was performed, she would be cured, and there would be no more reason to hold her. And so it came to pass that a compassionate man, a covetous man, a merciful man, an ambitious man, and a wise man reached their decision. A terrible decision, the most sinful in history. The ritual was performed, and the ships were allowed to leave port. The merry fleet sailed on for Gathlatio, sowing the seeds of the plague across the realm. The name of that man, the ambitious man, who roused us from slumber, was none other than Greed Geniolja. Yes, your father.
What? You're saying that my father caused the Great Plague?
We promised you the truth, did we not? But why take our word for it? It is all here, writ in your father's own hand. If you have the courage to face the next truth, we shall await you above.
Wait, Yoko!
Yeah, this side quest is very lore heavy. Can we read that by chance? Is it something that we got? We have Greed's log here. Alright, so let's see here. We were met at port by a young girl. By all accounts, oh, I can turn this stuff back on, sorry. By all accounts, she is the granddaughter of our holy patron, who arranged for our entire fleet of ships. Her age, pedigree, and quickness of her mind all recommend her. Our orders from the church are to locate, explore, and report on the ancient shrine of legend said to lie in this thick wood. Not all were pleased by my appointment, yet, when they heard that I had located the shrine in mere weeks, oh, how the pretty songbirds did change their tune. It was not divine providence that led us here, nor even the power of the crystals. I knew the location of the ancient shrine before we ever set sail. The first head of the great Geniolja family, left clear precepts behind him upon his passing. These rules are designed to preserve the family's position and influence among the orthodoxy, or so it would seem. Yet, that was not the true purpose of the last edicts we have inherited. An admonition of how to be an admiral ruler is not all Founder left for his project. How do I scroll down here? L and R to A and X to scroll up and down. I decoded the secret messages couched within Founder's final testament. There I discovered the true Founder, and while it took over a dozen years, my preparations now come to bear fruit. The exploratory mission has been approved, and we are sent to discover the ancient shrine. August 16th. I moved the spirit within the girl's body. It would take us 3 months to move all the abundant riches within the shrine to the shore, and a further 2 months to have it all readied for transport on the ships. The statue of Kukulain alone, within which the Orthodoxy wishes to claim for their own treasury, weighs so heavily upon the ship chosen to bear it that it seems likely to sink. It was no sooner that our fleet departed that our young guest fell ill. The girl came down with a sudden fever of unknown origins. Her grandfather, our financer, is against us sailing on and will not be persuaded by me, though I have spent days trying to get him to see reason. I sense that we are being manipulated by some force within the shadows. I made my plea to the church's upper echelon, begging leave to transport the girl and our goods back home, but I fear my enemies struck there as well. Heads of the church, unable or unwilling to give me a direct answer, have decreed that some exorcist be sent out to meet us. Geist, a man popular with the masses, has been tasked with exorcising the evil spirits from this girl. And must we then wait to see the outcome of his ceremony? Is this some compromise meant to appease those of us who wish to set sail, while allowing those in power to measure up the ones who would oppose us? Regardless of what the church wants, the winds are beginning to blow once more. November 1st. Reports tell us that the exorcist Geist, dispatched to us by the Orthodoxy, seems to have set out from a neighboring nation. Thanks to my spies within the church, I can now clearly see what it is my enemies have in mind. It is the one they call the Wise Man, who remains so resolutely against our fleet's return home. Those who are hostile to myself are likely colluding with the intellectuals at the Office of Public Health. Their combined influence is not meant to be underestimated. I may be the leader of the Genioldra family, which has so long stood at the helm of the Crystal Guard, but I know that I am being mocked as being an ambitious man. And the compassionate man who leads our fleet, the very financer who is so distressed about the girl's condition, has been another central figure in the argument over whether to move the girl or not. I suppose our current pope is the one they refer to as the merciful man. And the covetous men? There's no telling how many there are, nor where they are. At any event, both those for and those against moving the girl will be watching Geist's progress with bated breath. Just close that real quick. But yeah, this side quest here is... Oh, come on the stairs, really? Is all about lore here, essentially. Ow. Ow. So rude. Now I have to heal. Unbelievably rude. Anyway, yeah, one of the biggest parts of this side quest is on lore and background into the world. Like, this is one of those side quests. Like, every other side quest is like, it feels optional, but this side quest is like, to get the full story, you have to do this side quest, essentially. To understand the background of the world here. Come on, man. That is a lot of bats. That is a lot of bats, isn't it? My goodness. That dude didn't die from it. Wheel. Wheel. Stabby, stabby, tiz. There you go. Yeah, let's not continue the battles here. Let's not... Oh, that goes to a dead end, I guess. So, let's go over here and get the next truth, then.
It took you long enough. Did you read your father's log? No matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling. The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading. But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Cathalatio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father Yu, made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure? What we do know is that Greed, and Greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalotio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Danny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia. But here, why not read for yourself your father's words? You have faced 2 truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above.
Alright, let's check the journal here again. Alright, we've got 3 new logs. Reads log, December 4th. A list has been produced of all the parties who cannot be brought to our side. The elders and their ilk, all avowed to their unimpeachable morals, do not even recognize that their desperate desire to remain clean-handed is still a form of desire, of greed. They are nothing more than old fools. They need not be heeded. Forgetting the buttons already. No, the issue lies with the ones who have no interest in profit, who refuse our temptations, cleaving instead to their own firm principles and ideals. I do not know him personally, but this young Bishop Brave, as well as Norzen, the head of research at the Office of Public Health, they and their fellows do give me cause for concern. I'm ordering a thorough report of their histories so that I can determine the proper price to guarantee their assistance. March 17th. A letter arrived from the Pope. The ruling has come back in our favor, the best possible outcome we could hope for. The Pope has determined that the girl will be removed to Gathladio. Geist had carried on with his holy rites, and none could fault his dedication. I will say that for the man. Despite all our demands that he can bring the exorcism to a hasty end, he carried on indifferently, keeping those interfering fools abreast of every detail that his cunning eyes noticed. For I am sure of it. Geist has been reporting to the wise man from my homeland. So I began to work upon the covetous men of the nation, those within the church, those within the Office of Public Health. Every last man with a shred of avarice in him was drawn to our aid. Next, I feigned sympathy with the wise men who were against moving the girl to my homeland. The girl is afflicted with some febrile pestilence, so I insisted that she need be brought to the seat of the Orthodoxy, home to the most advanced healing arts in the world. By doing so, I was successful in convincing the compassionate man as well. My maneuvering of the covetous men, my careful plans devised from within the Orthodoxy. It was these, as well as the pleas of the compassionate man and the merciful man acquiescing, which won us our ruling. The ones who lost this day will carry on about what a sinful decision it was, but once we set sail, no one will be able to stop us. Geist, a man who exists by the grace of the Orthodoxy, looked so very at a loss. He had been sent out by the church's orders, and now he was forced to cut the ritual short by that same church's orders. He bid the girl a courteous farewell, and then turned for home and hearth, as now do I. January 5th. The fleet, weighed down by our great load, makes slow progress. It has taken us 10 months to reach the Eternal Vortex. The girl is protected by her grandfather, ensconced in a special crafted pleasure boat meant for royalty, cushioned from the vagaries of the waves. While reports do reach us on the ship I helm, tell us that she still suffers from high fevers. Our first landfall was when we pulled in at an unscheduled port to weather a sudden storm, but we have been able to continue our journey without any further unanticipated stops. We did lose 3 of our ships to pirates, who have been attacked on 2 separate occasions, but our losses remain relatively light. Now I hear some commotion from without. It seems a message has arrived. Sorry for my stumbling there, I apologize. Oops, I was not trying to go that way there. Enemy gets first strike! No! What enemy doesn't get first strike? Oh, come on! Well, hopefully we won't need idiot here. Sorry. Why use many words when can use few? I don't know how to words. Ow. Ow. Think you're gonna go to bed already. Have a good sleep, Lyrical. You died. Great. Oh, he's back. That's interesting. Interesting. Alright, so the stairs should be, yep, right here. It seems. Alright, let's go get another truth. This is what we'll do. There's an item over there, but whale. Whale. What the heck are those things? Mellowsine. What the heck? Bonk. Bonk. Well, we'll see how much Tiz does here. Ooh, quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. My oh my. Nice one, Tiz. Alright, let's see here.
You do take your time. You have read your father's words, I trust? Very well. I shall share with you the 3rd truth. This is the story, the true untold story, of the Great Plague. The first deaths were in the eastern reaches of Eternia, in a sleepy border village. The mourners grieved for their loved ones, their wails echoing through the mountains. Eventually, the cries faded away, and a stillness settled over the land. From the depths of time it had found us. The world we feared most had become reality. As death lay heavy on the land, a young priest named Brave petitioned his elders. He sought to use the power of the crystals to treat the sick, but his petition was denied. Instead, the church sealed off the high roads. It cut off the border villages, leaving countless people to suffer and die. Angered at the church for forsaking the village of his birth, Brave resigned from the priesthood. He did not, however, abandon his duty. First, he saw to it that his friend Norzen of the Office of Medicine was given full authority to investigate the origins of the plague. He planted Confederates in key positions, building a network that would allow him to monitor the inner workings of the church. In time, the plague released its grip on the world, though not because a cure had been found. It simply had no more victims to claim. Until, that is, the coming of the second pandemic. A second wave of terror swept over the world. A new strain of the plague emerged, threatening to complete the extinction begun by the first. Thus began a long battle which pitted Norzen and his researchers against the deadliest disease the realm had ever known. Their work was relentless. Many researchers and their families sacrificed their lives to the cause. Unwilling to put his men at risk, Norzen took to testing new treatments on his own body, losing one of his 5 senses in the process. Then, just before she herself succumbed, one researcher discovered a feline immunity that promised to neutralize the disease. She was able to transfer the antibodies to her daughter, a young girl named Minette. So it was that a vaccine was formulated that would bring the second pandemic to an end. The whole story is faithfully recorded here, in Greed's log. As the people came to learn of the terrible crimes committed by the church, its authority began to crumble. In desperate hope of regaining the faith of the people, the Church issued a proclamation. It would attempt the grand ritual. It was this, more than anything, that spurred Brave the Templar to action. These events too are recorded in your father's log. Have you the courage to press on in search of the truth? Then you know where to find us.
Man, I sure do love it when important cutscenes are playing out and my stream randomly decides to drop frames right at that moment. Meaning I'm now gonna have to edit this whole part most likely because of that one little bit during that last cutscene where I dropped frames and it went from being a video to a slideshow. So I have to edit to fix that. Oh, I hate OBS sometimes. Alright, let's see here. It's been 1 month, April 11th, sorry. It's been 1 month since our handful of ships brought the Church the means for its triumphant return from the slow decline consuming it. Our expedition's members were granted tracts of land, ancient titles, such rich rewards for the scant wealth we bore home. It would appear that the Church is even more impoverished than I had imagined, if this is how they dance for such a pittance. In a lonely village in Eternia's east, there have been reports of the plague that is spreading now across the world. The Office of Public Health has declared it a global pandemic, naming it the Great Plague, and they call the strain I brought forth from that shrine the Origin Plague. Rumors say that the young Bishop Brave wished to use the Earth Crystal to cure this pestilence. It was an unheard of idea, never dreamed of by those old men who worship the crystal blindly and will see it turn to no other purpose. Thus, the proposal was ignored. Instead, the Church handed down its cruelest order yet. All of Eternia's high roads were to be blockaded. To protect the head church in the capital of Eternia, the rural villages were to be cut off from the rest of the country and abandoned to their fate. Sacrificed to save the many, just as the girl was. A woman came to my door not too long ago, bearing in tow a small boy that she claimed was mine own. I cannot claim I never knew the woman, it may well be true, so I have given the boy a home. Manor is filled now with life and noise and children's cries, but my spirits remain as low and dark as death itself. May 25th. The young Bishop Brave has left the church. We are being punished by the crystal. That baseless rumor has spread without stop. No, it's more than that. That whisper is all in all one's heart. Dang it! That whisper is all in one. That whisper is all one hears. Jeez, why was that so hard to say? Terrified face is all one sees. I'm gonna redo that. That whisper is all one hears. Terrified face is all one sees. And the longer that such whispers persist, the weaker the orthodoxy grows. With Brave's departure, something seems to have been set in motion. The experts in infectious disease, including that Norzen, have been gaining much power amidst this panic. The Office of Public Health now acts independently of both the nobles and the Church, craving out for itself a position where external pressures can no longer contain it. No doubt Brave was angry and disappointed with the Church establishment. Their dismissal of him and his ideas might seem reason enough for these rash behaviors, but to those with the eyes to see, it is clear that his reasons run much deeper. What insult could drive Brave to such reckless ambition? It has already been a year since Denny's mother left us, and now I found myself met with a potential fiancé who comes recommended to me by a certain influential figure. Her family ties are respectable, though it is hard for any house to rival mine own. We are the direct descendants of the very first Pope of Crystalism. I fear she may be unhappy and ill at ease, moving in with the circles with which House Genealogia must. June 1st. Brave, the blasphemous usurper. He has seized his opportunity, striking out at the orthodoxy and cutting down the Vestal of Earth to name himself Grand Marshal of the new Eternian Duchy, as he would have it be known. Carrying out the grand ritual would be a grave error. There are many, including myself, who realize that. But this... It hardly seemed possible that a man could do anything more than attempting to secure his own family and fortune across the seas amidst the panic that has been seizing our nations, keeping them away from such madness as is seen daily now. It was unimaginable that one would be able to rally his allies and form an army, launching an assault on the church itself, and occupying it with no more than 3 airships to his own side. Grand Marshal is surely finding himself a busy man, subduing rebellions as soon as they erupt, and they do erupt often, working hard to ensure stability for the common people, making efforts to master the Earth Crystal. The other day, his adjutant Kamiyazumi came home and warned us in no uncertain terms that the Crystal Guard was not to fan any rebellious sentiments, and he is the one who cut down that offensive woman. Now, both my mansion and my Crystal Guard have fallen under their control, and still, I seem powerless to oppose them. Rather, it is probably in my own best interest to feign loyalty and allegiance to their cause. I have suggested that I might provide funding for the great public works they have planned, massive undertakings that will stretch from the Temple of Earth to the city of Eternia. I received no thanks for my generous offer, only a request that the funds be transferred and where to. I'm honestly astounded by their gall. Meanwhile, the seeds which Brave planted upon leaving Eternia have now borne fruit. His comrades in the Office of Public Health claim that the Great Plague has been defeated. If it is true, it could not come at a better time. Rumors of a second pandemic have been spreading like wildfire. Norzen's research team has been fighting a battle against the fury of this plague and against time itself. Unable to secure specimens, carry out their studies with the benefit of time, the researchers ended up drawing lots amongst themselves, and the losers made test subjects. They bet their own lives on their work, and many lost the wager. Still, there have been no warning from the Eye of Founder. I was granted an audience with Lord Lester, who was appointed by Brave to his High Council, and had the opportunity to consult also with Sage Ilyana. The Archduke greeted me as a descendant of that Sigley man, while Ilyana instead called my forefather a monster. I felt a cold sweat upon my back faced with this reception. Is this the future I must look forward to? Dang it. That button. There we go. Dang it. More encounters, huh? Hopefully they don't retaliate here. Oh my goodness, Magnolia. Nice hit. My goodness, will Tiz be able to take him out now? Not quite. He missed the strong oh my goodness! I am just trying to get from point A to point B here. Apparently if anybody dies here, they just come back fully healed, but otherwise not. Then. Alright, let's see here. Around the outside, I assume, right? Yeah, around the outside here is the way to get there. It would seem. Guess we're getting the chest first. An elixir. Maybe I'll wind up using it, I'm not sure. Another one? At least we get the first strike there. At least there's that. Let's see how much Tiz does. Decent bit there. Maybe he shouldn't be doing strong strike, because, you know. It's getting a little bit sketchier when it comes to it actually landing. The strong strike, but it sure doesn't land a lot of the time. Okay, please don't retaliate. Nice critical. No critical that time. Dang it! My goodness. Yeah, strong strike just keeps missing all the time. Oh my goodness, you're still alive? My goodness. Okay, time for more healing once again. Like that. Remedy. Neat. Alright, let's see here.
Must you always keep us waiting so? But no matter. The fourth truth awaits you. We shall tell you of the trials of the White Lion. The Templar Braves uprising took control of the capital of Eternia, and the Temple of Earth, seat of the Church's power. The Church, having lost its ability to govern, eyes now turn to its military might. The disbanding of the Crystal Guard. Curiously enough, this order came from within. Greed Geniolja, of one of the high houses of the Three Cavaliers. His motives were self-serving. Greed sought to protect his family and closest allies at the expense of all others. Houses Genealja and Camlin of the Disbander faction launched an attack on those who sought to keep the Crystal Guard intact. These opponents were led by two powerful houses that remained loyal to the order that greed had begun to destroy. The two houses had in their service a swordsman, Jerome Balestra, whose skills were famed throughout the land. Balestra fought back bravely against the warriors of houses Genealja and Camlin. Almost single-handedly, he fended off waves of opponents, but in the end, he was just one man. Balestra's brave efforts were in vain. Gates were breached, castles and manors put to the torch. With his dying breaths, Balestra entrusted his boy Jan to the care of his loyal squire, a man by the name of Angard. At the same time, a young man named Nikolai, who had been tasked with leading one wing of the attack, gazed upon the hellish scene. Though he had only been following orders, he was haunted by guilt for what he had done. Though the once proud Crystal Guard was now but a name, Nikolai continued to serve, and serve proudly. He petitioned the church leaders for its revival, recruiting Jan and other comrades to his cause. Was it all to atone for that day? But that is a story for another time. Now, we return to the tale of the White Lion. The Genealja and Camlin clans defeated their foes one by one, growing their power through bribes paid for with plundered gold. But disbanding the Crystal Guard had unforeseen and tragic consequences in the neighboring regions of Eternia. Unemployed soldiers turned to banditry, pillaging the villages that had survived the plague. Concerned that public order was breaking down, houses Genealja and Camlin formed their own private armies to put down the bandits. Their armies grew mightier and mightier. Among those promoted through the ranks were men who claimed to have destroyed the home of the witch that had caused the Great Plague. How many villages were razed to the ground to restore the illusion of peace? One tragedy giving rise to the next, a never-ending spiral of death and destruction, and at the root of it, one man's ambition. Jan, Nikolai, Bella, so much pain, so much suffering. So much sacrificed for the glory and might of House Genealja.
This can't be true.
Stay strong, you. You had nothing to do with any of this. But in the end, wealth and power could not buy immortality. The ambitious man, the foolish man, died of a common illness. So ends the story of Greed Genealja. Oh, how he entertained us so. But you do not look so well. Mayhap the truth has taken its toll. Then I would advise you go no further. Farewell, my Minister of the Right. It has been so very delightful.
I think I'm gonna turn up the game volume a couple smidges here, is what I'll do. Maybe something closer to that. I apologize that it's been as quiet as it has been up to this point here. Alright, let's see here. Dang it, why do I always keep opening that menu first? Why do I keep doing that? Alright, let's see here. We've got 3 new logs once again. Alright, August 9th. The Archduke is a paragon among men, who carries the blood of ancient kings within his veins, and thinks ever of what is best for his people. Commands a powerful army, maintains fair taxation, and rules with grace and skill. As long as he remains at its helm, people welcome their nation's rebirth as a duchy and rejoice. There do not appear to be any who long for the days when the orthodoxy is still ruled. The church's last source of income has been removed. We are now forbidden to collect the church taxes that once kept us going. The crystal orthodoxy must now survive on only the paltry stipend, which the duchy grants us, and we are able to be a religious body and no more. All political authority now stripped from us. Even House Genealja, the head of the Crystal Guard from times ancient, has not been exempt from this ruthless culling. The military strength of the Crystal Guard and esteem once paid to the Genealogia family were both sores in the eyes of the duchy and obstacles to any hope they might have for a peaceful reign. It is as plain to me as daylight. And now I see the signs of disorder brewing within even the Crystal Guard itself. Among the 5 great families, loyalty to the church runs deep, and the 2 most known for their military prowess have objected with violence to the disarmament demanded by the duchy. They do not know enough to fear this brave as I do. But more than the ardor that burns so violently among my peers is the silence of the Crystal Guard which haunts my thoughts at night. Camlin family, one of our closest allies for many years, has proposed a covenant. There's no time left for hesitation. Everything has been arranged. They have all agreed. We'll rise to action and bring them all down. We will abandon the house that wishes to wait and see how things progress before taking any decisive action. We need them not. They can be blockaded later, or removed by force. What we must do now is gather more forces than our enemy. All hinges on the question of whether we can carry out our attack before our foes are able to finish their own preparations. A young knight named Nikolai, covered with minor wounds, brought word that the famous leader of the enemy troops, the great swordsman Jerome Balestra, was dead in battle. It wasn't meant to happen like this. I wish to win in fair combat. His words reeked with such naive discontent. Foolish boy. Flames which engulfed Balestra lit the sky over the mountains, scorching the night with red light. My second son, born so many years later after the first, cried the entire night, refusing to be soothed by anything. It is almost as though this innocent babe, yet ignorant of the world, was crying for the sins of a man like myself, who would cast a former friend down without remorse. Fortunes of the 2 fallen houses will be seized and war reparations paid out, and then there are negotiations with the duchy, renunciation of our arms. There are so many things I must yet attend to. It seems I am not to sleep this night, nor many nights to come. December 16th. Also, I've been saying the month here, but they are in different years from time to time. So it doesn't really matter if I'm saying up the date here, but... Crystal Guard, I guess I could have been saying the year as well. Missed opportunity now. Crystal Guard has abandoned the arms which were once its sole purpose for being. 3 cavaliers in every last knight in the Crystal Guard now possess no more than petty titles. People mock us, pointing to the arms that still decorate our circuits. They ask whether the White Lion still has claws. 4 months have passed already since the trials of the White Lion. The duchy sends us unimaginable news. They say that House Genealogia and House Camlin, as families of influence and power, take to the hills and weed out any enemies. They even grant us permission to raise private armies for this purpose. The many soldiers who lost their livings when the Crystal Guard's numbers were reduced to the current Spartan figures, and especially the many who came from the 2 great houses, have been taking up brigandry and mercenary work, preying on the ruined villages of the borders which fell to the Great Plague. It seems even the powerful and famed Eternian forces have had difficulty subjugating these bandits, who have far greater numbers, so private armies have been sanctioned to deal with this scourge. Even if it is true that we once faced one another across the battle lines, these foes we are to destroy were long members of the same Crystal Guard, men who the Orthodoxy still owes for their loyalty, men who feel slighted by the duchy, men who know no trade or skill by which to make a living but the arts of war. Even the heroes who claimed to have been there when the witch's village was burned, all of them rushed to take up the title of brigand, thief, villain. We took some 10,000 good men. The warriors of House Genealogia have always made up half the Crystal Guard, even in ancient times, so the number was not difficult to muster. House Camlin split the task with us, and we made a circuit of the borderlands. And everywhere we went, the bandits disappeared. And everywhere the bandits disappeared, our own numbers swelled. The events at the Eternal Vortex, the blockading of Eternia's roads and sacrifice of the villages, the trials of the White Lion. Truly, every time that I betray my fellows, my own fortune seemed to grow the better for it. What great epitaph will grace my grave one day, I wonder. Will I be remembered as one of the greatest heads that the Genealogia family has known? And then several years later, February 16th, pain in my back becomes intolerable, and more days than not I find that my coughing fits have brought up blood. Sleep escapes me. My wits wander more and more often. Even the bright voices of the children pain my ears and strain my temper. My elder boy, Denny, is blessed with many gifts, and he is a courageous boy. No man could be disappointed with him. The younger boy, though, you can claim an impeccable bloodline, though his wisdom is yet unknown. To whom do I bequeath all that I have? Is it with skill or blood which matters? If only I had that sword, the sword that can cut through anything, even doubt. I cannot die yet. Not until I fulfill the promise. Not yet. So yeah, like I've said, this side quest is all about lore. I should have gone around the outside path. Oh, I guess not. I guess not. It didn't actually matter there then. At least the bats don't retaliate. At least they don't. Which is nice. That strong strike always misses. My goodness. Ow. How? My goodness. Well, time to do some healing again. Like that. Okay. Everything is A-okay. Let's go see this next truth here. After another battle. Oh, are those freaking choppers that you're making Chopcraft? Or maybe that's what the Chopcraft things are based on or something? Did I turn up the game too loud? Maybe I'll turn it down just one notch like that? Is what I may do. Oh, Tiz has got a few conditions now. Thank goodness they were all taken out there. But I need to heal Tiz of those conditions. Yeah. Probably. Like that. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Hopefully we don't get another battle.
Wait, I remember this blade.
The sword of the brave. I expected you sooner, but you have come, despite our warning. You need not explain yourself. When the truth sings, who can resist its siren call? Let me tell you my story. I am a presence once known as a yokai. What does the word mean? Nothing to me. I am I, nothing more, nothing less. I belong to and am beholden to no man. I have but one desire, to change this world we live in. Only those who have achieved true growth can lift the world to a higher plane, the next layer. So has the tapestry of history been woven, and so it shall continue to be. True growth means accepting all within you, seeing through the lies you tell yourself, and becoming that which you were meant to be. In that sense, one could also say, the more that is sealed away within your heart, the greater and stronger you might still grow. But few have the courage to brave the dark depths within their heart and achieve their true potential. Many have tried, and most have met with fates worse than death. Oh, but there is one heart I've yet to peek within, isn't there? Let us see what you are hiding from us, Idia.
My name is Idia Lee, daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. For so long I was proud of myself, of my position, of my family. But 2.5 years ago, I turned my back on it all.
And why did you do this?
I just couldn't accept what the Duchy was doing.
Is that the whole reason? Or was it because you wanted to assert yourself, to claim your own identity?
No,
Were you seeking someone's approval? Tell me.
My father. I wanted his recognition.
Very good, Idia. Now let us go deeper. Loneliness. That is what you feel deep in your heart.
That's not true!
Of course it is. You do your best to hide it, of course. You smile and play your role. But Agnes has Tiz. Magnolia has you. Mother has Brave. Eleanor has Commander Goodman. Amy and Panettone. Holly and Barris. You see their joy, and you feel loneliness, sadness, fear.
Stop it!
For you had someone too, but he left you far, far behind. You will never see him again. The one you cared for more than anyone else in this world. And what hurts most of all is that he chose to leave you. You told yourself you were strong, that you would be fine on your own. Alone forever, with no one to stand by you. Not now, not when you grow old, not when you die. This is your truth, is it not, Idia?
I miss him. Ring a bell.
Idia!
Ring a bell?
In the flesh. I'm sorry, it isn't like me to keep a lady waiting. You, alone? Nonsense. I've always been at your side, Idia. In Geyser Grotto, in Florum, even in Kaldisla. I never forgot you, not for a fleeting moment. Don't believe me? Here, have a look at my journal.
It's always about you, isn't it? I hate you!
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to tease. Now, shall we return together?
Ring a bell?
It's you!
You would ring a bell? That ring a bell?
The one and only. But the merry reunion can wait. I believe we have a fox to catch.
So, throughout this story, there have actually been two Alternus Dims, the one from another world, Ring-a-Bell, and the one from this world, Alternus Dim, essentially. So the one that was Ring-a-Bell this whole time was the one that had Idia's bandage on his arm, which is why the Alternus that we were talking to before had no idea what Idia was talking about when she was asking how his arm was doing and such. Because this whole time, throughout a lot of the adventure, Ring-a-Bell from the first game has actually been following along with us. Which is really, really cool, actually, I must say. Also, during that cutscene, I had to take out my headphones and go back there to, like, set up the kind of bedding area for the doggy again, because she got off, she was achy, I was petting her a bit during that cutscene, and then she wanted, do you want me to make it again since the pillows were all messed up and such? So I laid it out just the way that she likes it, and she hopped back up there once again with her ball, and now she's dozing off again.
You mean Yoko?
Precisely. Locked in battle with the Plains Wardens, my comrades.
Plains Watsons?
What are you even talking about?
I suppose now is as good a time as any to explain. I am forbidden from divulging classified information, but I will tell you what I can. We Plains Wardens are, as our name implies, the wardens of many and myriad planes of existence. That didn't quite clear things up? Allow me to elaborate. The tale would be best heard from Yoko herself, but this is one truth that fox won't be so generous about sharing. She spoke of a wish to change the world, yes? To make it a better place? She lies. She exists only to create chaos, and to revel in it. She uses our guilt, our sins, real and perceived, to achieve her nefarious ends. Do not listen to her deceitful words. Growing as a human being is about more than dredging up old fears and traumas. After our encounter in Geyser Grotto, I contacted my superiors. Apparently, Yoko has been designated by our department as an S-rank malevolent spirit of concern. It would seem she's been lurking on this planet for 4.6 billion years, give or take.
Are you sure that information isn't classified?
The point is, I intend to defeat her and close the book on her villainy. But I'll be needing your help to chase her down, my friends.
Of course. You can count on us.
But just look at you. A plains warden. Whatever that is, I guess you're moving up in the world.
And you'd expect any less from me? Now, let's go catch this fox by the tail. No matter what the cost, I must defeat her. Yes, I must, so that none need lose another of their loved ones again.
Alright, so yeah, we have Ring a Bell as a bit of a guest party member in this game here. Yeah, we don't actually know a whole lot about the Plains Wardens from this game here. So it'll be interesting to see if Bravely Default 2 elaborates on that a bit more. Because as is, there isn't... Jesus, the freaking choppers again. There isn't actually a lot known about these Plains Wardens here. So I hope that it's a topic that comes up again in Bravely Second. So they're running away. Well, at least a couple of them did. At least a couple there did. Okay, it looks like we can go into the story tent and that'll help heal us here. So let's do so.
Ah, that was simply scrumptious. My road has been a lonely one. It is comforting indeed to dine in the company of friends once more.
Here's your coffee, Sir Ringabel.
Thank you, my boy. Harina Mountain Blend. Ooh, these are fine beans indeed.
Well, I think I'll clean up. Care to help, Magnolia?
Oh, of course. You keep rubbing your arm. Has your wound healed?
Oh, more or less.
You've been watching over us. For all this time. You could have said something, you know. You could have told me it was you. Would it have killed you to come out and say, "Hey, Idia, I'm back"? Well, say it. Say it already!
Well, what are you waiting for?
You too, old friend?
Just say it, Ringabel.
Yes. I should have said it much earlier. To all of you. I'm back, my friends.
There. Was that so hard?
Good to have you back, Ringabel.
I should say something to Agnes, too.
She'd like that. I know she would.
You yourself. What are you doing there?
Her Holiness is in the bath. She asked me to take her calls. But then suddenly I had these bad stomach cramps and I had to run to the restroom. Yes, it was a close call. Ah, what am I saying? It's not important. What are you doing with Idia? Well, wait. That voice. From my dream. After the Kaiser attacked, I was gravely wounded, delirious. I could scarcely move. Fear not, I shall protect them, the Grand Marshal and Idia both. That voice was...
That's quite enough, friend. I'm not interested in your, or any man's, dreams. Moving on to matters of greater import. Did you say Agnes was in the bath?
Yes, what of it?
Oh, well, this is a matter of the utmost urgency. I repeat, must speak to Her Holiness at once. And don't switch the camera off. To her side, quickly, man.
Camera? I don't understand.
No, wait!
Shall I put a muzzle on you, Ring-a-Bell?
Aha, forgive me. It was an innocent slip of the tongue.
Tell us, Ring-a-Bell. After all that happened, did you find the world you were looking for?
Why, yes. Yes, I did.
Wait a minute. The chasm disappeared, right? So how'd you get here?
Now that's a long story.
I'd be interested in hearing it.
And hear it you shall, my fair lady. You see, I wanted nothing more than to protect my dear Idia here, and so...
Then why didn't you show your face? Why did you hide from me, you heartless pig?
Yo, whoa, let go! Idia, mercy, mercy!
Huh? You? What's the matter?
The croissants! The ones I set aside for breakfast, they're gone! Idia!
What? I didn't touch them.
And with that, let's get going.
So there's the one tent cutscene we can get with Ring-a-Bell. Staying very true to his bravely default self there, I must say. Save complete. Let's go see what Yoko has in store for us.
Late as ever.
Foul demon, prepare yourself.
Prepare myself? For what, little man? When last I saw you, you were down below, cowering in terror.
Cowering? Hardly. Anyhow, I've returned, and I've brought my friends.
Ring-a-Bell, your wounds are still fresh. Leave Yoko to us.
That's right. You've done enough for us. It's time we returned the favor.
Right! Ring-a-Bell, you provide backup, okay?
Monsieur Plainswarden, stand back and watch a ball buster in action.
But this was supposed to be my time to shine. All right. Go get her, and know that you have the best backup any dimension has to offer. Now, is everyone ready?
I am alone. I belong to no one, and to nothing. I have no need of names, but you may call me Yoko, the yokai. You wish to hear the truth? Then prove yourselves worthy of it. Claim it with your own strength, and the truth shall be yours.
Alright, time for one of the best boss battles in the game here. Let's go ahead and examine on the first turn so that we can see exactly what's going on here. That is so much health. My goodness. You what? Hold on, you what now? Excuse me? Huh?
I vow to protect you, no matter what.
So now we get to listen to one of the best themes from Bravely Default. So Ring-a-Bell here, acting as backup, will basically be using a special move every once in a while. Yikes! Oh my goodness, that is very scary. Do you have weaknesses? No, apparently not. Okay, let's just build up our BP. Okay, nobody died there, thank goodness. Okay, let's see here. Go ahead and put on Benediction Wall, as always. I should probably get our HP restored like this in the meantime. Let's probably not a bad idea. Like that. And then for Tiz here, in case I ever need to use Falcon Call, let's just use Soaring Falcon for now.
I believe it's my turn.
Yeah, he uses it pretty frequently, and he uses a lot of different weapons. He does a lot of different special moves, which means that we keep on getting to listen to Ring a Bell's theme. My goodness, why are words so hard? What the heck? Okay, Benediction Wall. Okay, neat. Let's go ahead and mug and see what she has there. And then Tiz over here is gonna go ahead and start spamming Phoenix Flight now that Benediction Wall is active. Okay.
You, Geniolja, scion of the ambitious man. You struggle to free yourself from the weight of your family and its blood-soaked past. You, Geniolja, son of the villain who unleashed the Great Plague. Spawn of evil. How many lives has your great house ruined? Your family, friends, benefactors. How many fates have they twisted? Yet still you fight on, certain of your cause. Fight on, spawn of evil. Fight and carry on your legacy of sin.
Shut up! Founder is founder! And my father is my father! They have nothing to do with me!
Yes, yes. Deny your past and bring about a revolution.
That's not what I mean!
Oh, but you sound so much like them. Dreaming of revolution, burning with ideals, and drowning in sentiment. Like father, like son.
Enough!
Alright, let's see how much damage you do here with Benediction Wall. Quite a bit here, it seems. Man, Tiz is probably my biggest damage dealer here. My goodness. I got whatever the heck that is. Get a heal there. Ow. Ow. Should I imbue this with an element? Will it do extra damage? I'm not sure. No, let's just do it, sure. Just for fun.
I'll strike like a thunder god to the heart.
So yeah, Ring a Bella's backup during this battle sure is nice. Oh my goodness. He just keeps on spamming his special attacks there. Yikes. 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 Yikes, yikes, yikes. Please go before Yoko, everybody. So we can reap the benefits of that Benediction Wall there. It's my oh my. Oh dang it, Idiot's not going. I don't know why Idiot didn't go there. Dang. Let's have Magnolia actually revive Idia here. This is what we'll do.
True romance is a man's highest calling.
Yeah, he really likes to spam those special moves. And he uses so many different weapons as well. It's great. It's probably one of my favorite battles in the entire game right here, honestly. It's so good. Okay, cool. For extra safety, let's just do this. Is what we'll do. Oh, we lost our element though. Dang. Dang. Unfortunate. Okay, let's go back to spamming. Wait. Okay, the wall is still active. Go back to spamming Phoenix Flight. This is what we'll do. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot of damage by default there. Now with Phoenix Flight, we are now doing way more damage because, my goodness, such a wacky move, huh? Yeah, that'll help us heal for a little while, the damage that she does to us, which is going to be some big damage on the next turn, so it's probably a good thing that I did that there. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright.
Ladies, to my side. I shall protect you.
This has got to be one of the best battles in the entire game, honestly. What would ring a bell here? One of the best battles in the whole game here. Nice, I like it when Magnolia's getting crits there. It's always nice. Come on, get some more crits, please. One more crit. There we go. She does big damage when she crits, at least. Ha! Barely any damage. Yeah, I'd say that Tiz is definitely my big damage dealer here. For sure. For sure. Maybe I'll even turn down the game one more notch. Or like half a notch like that. Something like that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we still have that mist active there. What else do we have here? Double physical attack and magic attack for all allies and enemies. Oh. Well, isn't that interesting there? Huh. Very interesting options there, huh? Let's refresh the wall. It has been a little while. Let's do it just to be safe there. So we hopefully don't have to worry about things. Yeah, there's that weak point there. And the Benediction Mist helping out. And Benediction Wall is...
everyone, ladies first, of course.
Of course. What does he have now? Another staff? Oh, yield everyone. Nice. Works for me. Ow, if only he had done that after that attack there. Okay, let's actually go ahead and do this one more time. Also get a quick heal off of that there. Okay, Tiz is gonna go back to spamming Phoenix Flight once again, like that. That should rack up quite a good amount of damage here. Yeah, Tiz is definitely my biggest damage dealer here. For sure, look at that. Okay, down to 40k now, which is nice. Hopefully Magnolia gets some more crits here. Benediction Mist. Alright. Let's see how much Idia does now. Okay.
Deadly and sexy. A winning combination, wouldn't you say?
Put a sock in it, ring a bell.
This battle is so good. This is such a good battle. Like, my goodness. Yeah, I guess Yoko's defense there is probably way higher than most of the enemies I've fought up to this point. Idia usually does so much damage. Like, close to Tiz levels. Like, the only reason Tiz does so much is because he doesn't care about defenses. Is the thing. I don't know. Sure, let's try that, I guess. Could be spicy. Could be spicy indeed. See how much Magnolia does here. She does a lot when she crits, at least. Like that. Like, my goodness, that is a lot. It's a lot of damage. Not even Flex Tape can fix that one. My goodness, Tiz should be able to do it once he's ready again. Like, I mean, we can even just spend our BP early and do it now, but ah well. But ah well, though. Back our health there. Yeah, you're gonna make us weak to, like, everything. Alright. Okay, the wall is still active there. We still have the Holy Night Mist. So, I mean, I don't know. Okay, Tiz should be able to finish it off this turn. Most likely. Too bad Ring a Bell isn't coming in to give us another special refresh there. That is too bad. Yeah, Tiz will do it. Tiz will manage to finish it off here.
You are strong. You would bear witness to the final truth. Then go forth It is yours for the seeing.
Alrighty. We have now completed the final side quest, essentially, and gotten the final asterisk. We now have all the jobs in the game. Sweet. You obtained the yokai asterisk. The final one. Yokai, awaken the dormant potential deep within, summons deadly demons, favors the katana, speciality echo, job command diabolism. Sorry, I can't words today, apparently. My goodness, that is freaky looking, isn't it? My, oh my. Oh, sorry, I got to move again.
Late again. Although measured against my own eternity, 2 decades is barely the blink of an eye. In that sense, you are ahead of your time, you Genealja. To tell the story of Founder, we must go back far, far into the past. Yes, this is a tale from the far side of time. One day, 2 people came sailing in on a glimmering ship. I took quite a liking to these travelers from another world. I guided them through this world of ours as they sought a way back to their own. None of us foresaw what would happen next. It happened in a laboratory on board their vessel. A rare disease from their world somehow became mixed with a deadly illness from ours. The seeds of what would come to be known as the Origin Plague multiplied at breathtaking speed, spreading beyond anyone's control. If left unchecked, the plague would claim all life on this planet, everyone I loved. So I took the seeds of disease within me and begged the 2 to seal me away. And then I slept. Months and years and centuries passed. For 1,000 eons I slumbered. In time, the people came to believe that the cave in which I slept housed a god. They built a shrine at its entrance. The dynasty that built the shrine prospered, built a mighty civilization, then fell, as dynasties are wont to do. Through it all, I slept, forgotten, until some 24 short centuries ago. Founder came and roused me from slumber. He heard my story. He spoke to me. I can do nothing for you, he said. But someday one of my line will find a cure for the plague within you. Yes, someday he will come for you. So he said, as tears welled in his eyes. At last, at long, long last, I will be free of this curse. Such was my final thought as I drifted back to sleep. I slept again, a shorter slumber. 2 decades ago, I awoke to see greed standing before me. When I saw the ambition in his eyes, I knew. He was the one of whom Founder had spoken. As my forefather promised, so have I come. He spoke, answering the question I dared not ask. Greed flattered himself, believing he was the man destined to be my rescuer. He meant to sail me to Gathalatio, that he might there find the cure for the plague inside me. But such hope was short-lived. The plague spread and spread quickly, and so he sunk me, sunk all of us to the murky depths of the sea. He did this that Gathalatio, Eternia, and humanity itself might be saved. In his eyes, too, welled those pained tears. Yes, just like Founder before him. I understood everything but said nothing. Once again, I closed my eyes. As the waves claimed me, I could hear him cry out, "I shall put an end to this foul plague." After that, Greed's heart turned cold. Kindness, human affection, such emotions were lost to him. They had sunk to the lonely depths, along with his ships, one girl, and countless treasures.
Father.
Do not cry, you. Strange as it may seem, I am grateful to Greed and to Founder both. Because of Founder, who woke me from slumber, I was able to learn that an old friend was safe. And Greed's heartless decision did help bring the second pandemic to an end. Greed and Founder, two men of ambition. For better or worse, they changed the course of history and shaped this world. Now it is your turn, you. Yes, I will be watching with interest to see how your chapter of history plays out.
Thank you, my friends. You've been most cooperative. Idia, you have my gratitude.
Wait, what's going on? This better not be another goodbye.
Forgive me. Strictly speaking, I was not supposed to reveal my identity in the first place. Because this pocket we're in belongs to Yoko, we were able to make an exception, but only for a short time.
No! Just stop right there! You can't leave me again!
Idia, I never left you and I never will. It's like I said after all. Wherever, whenever you are in peril, there I will be.
Ring a bell.
But before I go, I have a task for you, Magnolia.
We? What would that be?
Yoko, with her unearthly powers, held sway over the sins of mankind. But now that she has left us, these sins will be unleashed, free to run rampant over our world, in the form of fearsome beasts.
Oh, je comprends. Say no more. I've got it under control. As a ballbuster, protecting the peace of Luxemdark is my sworn duty. We shall find these beasts of sin and destroy them when we do.
If our information is correct, the beasts slumber. They sleep in great monoliths, stone monuments scattered across the land. Ah, and Tiz, I have a special request for you as well.
Of course, anything you say.
Tell Her Holiness Pope Agnes that Ringabel sends his regards. But I fear all good things must come to an end. And now I'd best be on my way.
Ring a bell, no!
Fear not, for we shall meet again. Till then, my friends, be well!
Yeah, so that's some way to end that side quest there. Also, the doggy hopped down. Now she's laying on my floor over here. Should I just move the camera in that case? We still want a doggy cam. Forgive the stuff that's, you know, strewn about right now. I'm a little bit unorganized right now. I have a few things I need to sort out. It was mostly from after installing these shelves here with them being new. I had to take, like, everything out of my office here. Well, not everything, but I had to take a lot of things out of my office here. And can I just use a teleport stone to get out of here? And then bring things back in, so things are all over the place, which is why that's all there, essentially, right now. But yeah, she's tired, she's achy. And yeah, looks like there's a little bit more to this side quest just over here. We do have a shop, though? Not a story tent. Oh! Huh, so that's where you get the level 7 spells. I guess I didn't have all the magic after all. Huh.
Beasts And monoliths?
What's the matter, Tiz?
I was thinking about what Ringabel said. About these beasts that have taken the form of monoliths.
You mean the monsters that appeared because Yoko isn't around anymore to control humanity's sins?
We shouldn't mess around. We need to find those monuments and get rid of these sin beasts before they cause real trouble.
D'accord, but first we must prepare for the trials ahead.
So yeah, just kind of like the summoning spells where you go around the world to get those. It's the same kind of thing for the powers of the yokai class, except gathering those 7 sins.